Last but not least, I want to also welcome, really, I want to extend my gratitude, brother, my friend, our leader, who really stand up for this, to make it happen. After the day he realized that language is missing from our history, the history of Venezuela, and he take a time to put his own voluntarily time to make that happen, and also bring it us to us as a community members and the leaders in the community. I said, what do you think? And we said, that's absolutely something we've never seen. Mahmoud Noor also, not only this one, also have played a lot of roles about when it comes to translating documents, including also Minneapolis public school system for the last couple of years. And also he was working as a liaison person for the Senate, our late last Senate, Senator non-Coleman office. And that was really a great opportunity. He was the first Somali person who worked in that position in our state. So it's only state that happens in everywhere else. It's only Minnesota. Any other state we still don't have that stuff. So thank you very much for their efforts. So welcome.
Thank you, Shafi, for that nice welcome, and thank you for everybody. And what I did is basically simple. I come to this building and I noticed that there are 24 languages. You know, people who come here tour. A lot of people come here every day. Brian knows how many people a year comes through here, and you know. And I noticed that Somali was not there. Then I just said that what it takes Somali to be there, and I was told it takes only one volunteer to do that. Then I said I would be that person. Tell everybody, your family, friends, everybody that they need, if they need to know more about this beautiful building, important building. But first of all, nobody in Minnesota can afford to ignore this building. It will touch, this building will touch your life one way or the other, whether you know it or not. The reason why I translated this one, I just don't want to talk about how beautiful this building is, but people want to know what's going on inside. Senate is doing, what the House is doing, what Supreme Court is, Court is here. It's very important for people to know it's a public, open to the public. You can come, you can do, and all the issues that you have in the United States. We don't solve problem with guns. We solve through the system. So it's a beautiful building. I saw one lady for 6 months protesting over there that she wanted to change one law that she did not like. And I asked her, what do you think these guys are doing? She said, no, these guys are good. All these senators and house representatives are good. It's my job to change the law and talk to them and convince them. So since that's the American way, so if that lady can do it, we can do it. All the issues that you're not feeling, you're not satisfied, you're not happy with, if you just chat with the people that represent you, like Senator Hoggenbeller, who is, representing the most Somalis in Minnesota. So thank you for, and Brian and Minnesota Historical Society giving me this opportunity. And thank you for coming, all of you.
أنا قاعد بقول إيمان أنا مدام لقد دودي لقد تفسيري تو قاعد كان ويش سكولة ده إلما سكولة ده and everything in like everybody or mission history and part of this history أدبنا وفرح سنة إيمانتا إني لقد دني لقد ترجمي تو قاعد capital كمركا وفرحة وين مانتا.
So I want to give an opportunity to Brian to welcome us to the capital. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, and This really is a significant event for your community and for the people who come to the state capital of Minnesota. As part of the Minnesota Historical Society, we interpret the building through the guided tours, and it's always nice to have a translation or a language that our visitors can read. We have about 100 different countries represented as visitors here each year. And right now, as you had mentioned, we have 25 different translations. One of those is a Braille translation as well. So this is a step into making the building, which is for the public of Minnesota, very accessible. Because a lot of what happens here is not only historical and important as a building of beautiful architecture and art, but this is a building where things are decided each day that affect all Minnesotans. So this is an important part, an important destination for all Minnesotans, and that's what we want our visiting public to appreciate and understand. And Minnesota has a rich history of volunteerism. These flags you see in the Civil War display cases were carried by mostly volunteers from Minnesota that went to fight in the American Civil War. And that translates into many generations of Minnesotans in different combat zones and so forth, but also just being a part of communities and volunteering their time to help our people. And that's what Mohammed has done here. He stepped forward and he saw the need for the community to say, you know what, this is your building, come to the Minnesota State Capitol. I can put the language, the English language in your language, so you can come here and see what's an important part of this building.
So I want to welcome our Senate Majority Leader, Beg Miller, please, Senator Beg Miller, welcome.
I am Senator Larry Pogamilla, the Majority Leader of the Senate, but I also am the Senator from the West Bank area of Minneapolis, which has the largest contingent of Somali residents in the state. And there will be a day when the person standing here is of Somali descent, who will be a state senator. And we will want the ability of their grandparents, or great-grandparents, or relatives who still live in Africa, to read about the building that they work in. And that's what this provides the opportunity for. I come from Irish-German immigrants. Irish-German immigrants were not being elected 2 or 3 generations ago, but Somali immigrants will absolutely be elected, serving in this building within the next generation, I would predict. And it will be, I hope I'm alive to see that, and I think I will be.
So our next speaker will be the young emerging leader who really his name become famous nowadays in the whole community and also outside the Somali community. A man of CEO will going to share with us about a little bit about the history of the Somalis in Minnesota and also the values we can add in our state and the positive things that we've done for the last couple of years within a very short time. Thank you, brother of CEO, man of CEO.
You could drive around the Twin Cities and you could see the economic impact Somali Americans have made to this state. With our entrepreneurial dexterity, we have transformed Lake Streets and Franklin's no-man lands into vibrant economic hubs. And it is the fact that we're one of the main leaders in opening new small businesses. Only in Minnesota can you go to Bloomington and go to the Mall of America, then drive to the south side of Minneapolis, go to Carmel and see the Mall of Somalia. Only in Minnesota can you see this. It has provided us with the resources we need to achieve our dreams. So on behalf of the estimated 75,000 Somalis, I would like to thank the state of Minnesota and all its representatives. You are true to your renowned reputation, Minnesota Knights. Thank you.
So Amina is one of the great organizers when it comes to community organizing. So I want to welcome Amina to share some more.
I'm just going to say, as a woman, we are very happy, and this to be translated in our language. I'm very happy, and whatever I was going to say, have already been said, and this is a history today, and I guess my children will be happy to see I'm part of this history, and I wish my sons or my children will be that history, the ones who will change and make the change and be chosen in this state. So thank you very much.
So I want to welcome my next speaker will be Hussein Samatar, who somebody we all know, the name of the Somali community, mostly well-known person, as a leader who's leading the economic development and business development for the last couple of years in the city of Minneapolis and also the state of Minnesota at large. The organization who Hussein is led has become one of the best and #1 leading organization, CDC organization, who lender organization who invested a lot of small businesses, a lot of money for the last 2 years and become #1 ADC or CDC in the whole city of Minneapolis. So I want to welcome Hussein Samatar. Now they're building the first building that owned by the Somali at the heart in the Somali community in which is West Bank and Cedar Riverside area. That will be the new home of the ADC. I want to welcome Hussein Samatar. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you could see, I had a speech. I had. But as I was coming here, I realized the people who went up, especially our majority leader, Larry Bogamiller, really said what I wanted to say, and I'll tell you what that is. Also, a man touched some of what I came to say. Again, I'm Hussein Samatar with African Development Center. Now let me touch a couple of things. First and foremost, a man who touched what I do for a living, which is business development and community economic development. By far, the Somali American community, for the last 15 years that we have been in Minnesota, by far, they are the largest black people in the state that has ever started small businesses. We just got the city of Minneapolis, we got the city of St. Paul, even the city of our town. We just came back we were meeting in back. So the state is seeing all the Somali communities. We also know that this language is translated into the brochure, translated into Somali. That we don't want to learn the language or speak English. We understand that. I think we get it. But the reason is that America is a better country when we have all these communities speak their own language. The first story I want to tell you is that once upon a time, the district that I live in, 50th district, the man who represented us and did a great representation was Martin Saber, you guys know this. One day I talked to Martin Saber and he said, Hussein, when I was growing up, I used to speak Norwegian until I was 6 years old. When I left, he said, became first grade, I left my Norwegian behind. I hope, he said, Hussein, you're not going to do the same mistake that I made. So don't make the same mistake again and again that America tends to make, which is speak your language, but above all, you all have to be articulate in English. That's the way of survival. So I just want to tell that story. My final story I want to share with you is that this country, especially this state, when people used to go to vote in 1896, there were at least 10 languages translated in voter registration. So you can go and vote for your own language. Now, it's really the testament of the leaders like Larry and people who work here to understand that it's an asset to be able to speak different languages, come from different cultures, but above all, make this state a better state for all of us. And my final story is when I used to listen to, and how you know this little Paul Wellington, whom we all loved in many, many ways. And he used to say this, we only do better when we all do better. We, as a community, want to do better for people who came before us, and above all, as Larry said, we want to be a community that people who are in Mogadishu, or Hargeisa, or Kismayo, in Somalia, to be proud of that we left, and not only we left, we made something ourselves, and as he said it, to elect one of our own, to be here, to be proud, and thank you very much.
I'm Barbara Ronigan, I work with the State Demographic Center, and I'm the person who gets to estimate the number of immigrants. But right now I'm working on the census. So one of the reasons I came today was to talk to the people about the census. We're at the state fair. I hope you'll come and visit us there. And we want to make sure that we get a good, accurate count of everybody in Minnesota, including Somalis. So this is a great event. I'm glad that you were able to translate this brochure into Somali. And I hope that you will take advantage of the opportunity to answer the census and be counted as Americans, Somali Americans, in 2010.
Today is a very historical day because it's the first day that we all come together here.
waxaan ku faraxsanahay si aad ugu faraxsanahay inaan ka mid noqono gaar tuurka maaragtay marka billigan la yimaado dad Soomaaliya ay haystaan waraaqa af Soomaali ku qoran oo sharaxaya bis si loo yimaado bildinkan af Soomaali ku qoran dalka wardara oo soo tijibana oo ma celinayna
horta farxad weyn waay insha Allah muhiimadda ugu weyn waxa waaye inaan u istaagno statekeena inaan ka mid nahay iyo historigiisa adduunka inay arkaan muhiim waay kow innaga dadkeena inay fahmaan in statekan uu yahay statekeena Minnesota waddankeena yahay historigeedana aan ka mid noqono waxaan waxa waaye legacy aan rabnaa oo tagno ilmeena la generations to come arkiyo insha Allah markaas Soomaaliya National Alliance ahaan iyo as a leader kan bulshada ka dhex shaqeeya ahaanba muhiimadeena koowaad waxa waaye civically saan engage u noqon lahayn no matter where we are the whole world and the whole nation ha noqoto Minnesota ahaan iyo Mareykan iyo state ahaanba insha Allah marka muhiimadeena waxa arkaa inay tahay historic day oo runtii aad u qiimo badan waxa u mahadcelinayaa saaxiibkay Maxamed Warreer oo runtii fursad badan waqti badan geliyay inuu turjumo anay just host guarantee iyo hawshan wadideeda iyo muhiimadeeda ka sibiga ahaanta maahan muhiimadda xoog weyn ninka geliya asagu waxa marka aad baan ugu mahadinayaa walaalkay Maxamed Warreer laakiin waxay tahay farxad qaali ah runtii iyo maalin aad u qiimo badan inaan soo hoynay waxaan kale u mahadcelinayaa runtii Bartamaha oo mar kasta aan arko iyo goob walba aan ku arko wax kastoo wanaagsan oo ummadda lagu istaagay inay garab taagan yihiin iyo soo tabinta wanaagga ummadda iyo ka turjumidooda aad iyo aad ugu mahadsanyihiin Bartamaha gabi ahaan meesha kala joogtaan خاص ahaan walaalkeen wilwal oo industrialist aan isticmaalaan jeclaan inta badan aniga waxaan leeyahay aad iyo aad u mahadsanyahay runtii goob kasta waxaan ku bartay goob wanaagsan ilaa haddana goob wanaagsan aan ku arkaa maalin kasta soo dhex taagan wanaag buu taagan adinka dhanna gabi ahaantii maalinkan ku bartay kaamiradeena iyo aan arkay fiidiyoyaashiinaba aad baan ugu farxaa marka waxaan leeyahay aad iyo aad u mahadsantiin wadaag meesha ka sii wada farxad bay noo tahay Minnesota inaan runtii Bartamaha ay ka mid noqoto waagi hore oo hay dhinacaas naga jirteen la hadda noo soo dhawaateen waxaan leenahay soo dhawaada shaqada haysaan ummadda waxay baad u qabanaysaa aad u mahadsantiin insha Allah
thank you